It's Tuesday, June 27th, 2023. And just a quick note, this will be the last podcast episode of the week. I'm taking a small road trip, but if you are subscribed to the email version of One Sentence News, I'm planning on sending out a little visual-focused bonus email sometime later this week. So if you're subscribed to that, watch out for that. If you'd like to be, you can go to onesentencenews.com to sign up for that email, and otherwise, I will talk to you next Monday. All that said, let's talk about the news. From the Washington Post, it's Canada's worst fire season in modern history. In the past week alone, more than 3.5 million acres of land has been burned across Canada, which is about 69% of what you would typically see during an entire fire season in the country. The tally of land burned in 2023 so far is at around 17.8 million acres, surpassing the previous most destructive fire season in modern Canadian history in 1995, during which 17.5 million acres were burned. The numbers here are pretty jarring, considering that we haven't even hit the typical height of Canadian fire season yet. The fires continue to cast a thick blanket of smoke across parts of North America, some of that blanket even reaching across the Atlantic into the UK. And the widespread nature of the fires, encompassing the whole width of the country, has made tackling the blazes, which have been amplified by changing weather patterns and heat domes, difficult. From Al Jazeera, largest Hajj pilgrimage in history begins in Saudi Arabia. The annual Muslim pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia, the Hajj, started last weekend, and this year's event is expected to break all-time attendance records, attracting around 2.5 million visitors. This is the first year since 2020 that pandemic-era restrictions will be relaxed, which is why the flood of attendees is expected to be somewhat overwhelming. Only 10,000 people were permitted to attend in 2020, 59,000 in 2021, and last year 1 million people were allowed in. On top of that larger number of attendees, organizers face weather-related challenges, with temperatures expected to reach 45 degrees Celsius, which is about 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Saudi authorities have said they've put thousands of ambulances and tens of thousands of health workers on standby to help with cases of heat stroke, dehydration, and exhaustion. And from The Guardian, record-breaking Texas heatwave enters third week as thousands lose power. Triple-digit temperatures continue into their third week in Texas, leaving tens of thousands of people in the region without power as local energy infrastructure is strained beyond its capacity. More than 40 million people in the U.S. are under a heat alert at the moment, and Texas is being hit hard by a heat index, which combines temperature with humidity of 125 degrees Fahrenheit, which is nearly 52 degrees Celsius in some areas. New Mexico, Louisiana, Arkansas, Kansas, and Missouri are also seeing dangerously high temperatures that are expected to rise still further, only cresting sometime next week, and heat-related issues have been made worse by the presence of a heat dome over Mexico and parts of the U.S. Southwest, combined with energy infrastructure damage caused by a recent line of storms that barreled across the area, knocking out power and leaving many people without air conditioning or even fans to stave off the heat. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.